Hi, welcome to A Chip Off the Old Block Toys. This is Jeff, and today is the review of the Ultimate Collector Series Imperial Star Destroyer, which was set number 75252. We built this thing in 6 live streams, and I'm going to put a link on YouTube down below for each one of those if you want to go back and watch it. I won't do that for Rumble, but for YouTube I am. And this set was 4,784 pieces. And let's go ahead and let's jump into the review. Let's start with creativity. Well, for creativity, I will give this a 10 out of 10. There is one aspect I don't like, but other than that, the rest of it's fine. And that is this top piece right here, these shield generators right here. If you look at like pictures from Empire Strikes Back, or any of them actually that has this particular model of the Imperial Star Destroyer, these are almost completely round. And when I say that, give it a little bit, it's like panels that look kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons dice, really, but it's more round than it is here. They tried to kind of do it, but I actually thought they did a better job on the other one, which I'll show you in a minute. But I'm not going to dock it anything because the rest of it's so highly detailed. That's such a minor thing. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I love the turbo laser batteries. There's 8 here and on the top, and then there's one on the side here and one on the side here, so it's 10. In addition, you've got Princess Leia's ship right here, the blockade runner. And make sure I get that in there. Yeah, there it is. So I think that's very detailed for being that scale. I think that's pretty cool. And also I like the fact that this has more texturing right here and here, and also here. I think they just did a really good job of making this very detailed and having the pieces kind of pop and make it irregular, just like the real ship is. So creativity, like I said, is a 10 out of 10. For value, this set retails for $699.99, and at 4,784 pieces, that makes it 14.6 cents per piece. And you only get 2 minifigures. So, unfortunately for value, I'm only going to give it a 7. I've never agreed with the Disney premium that they charge. I can understand that there needs to be, somewhat of a price increase for the licensing, but maybe Lego could do a better job at negotiating that contract, because really it's a lot of money. $700 basically for less than 5,000 pieces. And honestly, if they were to sell it for a little bit less, it'd sell more, and I think Disney would get in the end about the same when it comes to their licensing product, but it would allow more people to enjoy such a set. So I'm really hoping that can happen, but I'm probably dreaming. Okay, let's go on to playability. Playability, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10, even though you really can't play with it a whole lot, and you can kind of with the blockade runner and stuff. But this thing's sitting on a stand for a reason. It's almost impossible to play with, and it's meant to be displayed. So I'm not going to dock anything from it because of that. It does come with 2 minifigures which are also meant to be displayed. That's why they're right here on the plaque. You can barely see them. And they do give you a plaque with a little bit of information about the ship itself. Ease of build, I'll give it a 6. 10 would mean it's the easiest build ever, 1 is the hardest build. I put it right about in the middle, and that's because it is kind of a more difficult set to build. There's some repetition, but it's also the angles and popping these things into place. So, 6 out of 10. But overall, I think this is a great model, and we're not going to stop the review here, and that's because you need to hit the like button or the Rumble button if you're over on Rumble. Just kidding. Please do that, but that's not the reason that the video is going to keep going. The video is going to keep going because as of right now, I'm going to bring on the other Ultimate Collector series of this, and let's go ahead and do that. Now that I've done the review on this one, let's bring this guy on board and let's talk about him and the differences and the similarities. So, before I start that, let's go to the good book. Star Wars doesn't really have a Bible. So I think the closest thing that you're going to get to a good book, and I'm going to call it the good book, is this one right here. This is one of my favorite Star Wars books. There's more than just this one. This one primarily goes over the original trilogy. But anyway, the reason I brought this out, I want to give you some details here. So, this one here says that these are, in real life, if they were real, are 1,600 meters long. That is pretty dang long. And it comes with 6 turbo lasers here, and these 2 back ones are ion cannons. It has quad laser cannons here. Yes, calls it lateral quad laser batteries. Now, these things carry 9,700 stormtroopers. Obviously, it's not to scale because we couldn't fit that many stormtroopers in here, and I don't even have that many. So, and then it carries 72 TIE fighters, and typical complement is 48 of those are the regular TIE fighters, 12 are TIE bombers, and 12 are TIE boarding aircraft, as well as a range of attack and landing craft. And when they assault industrialized worlds, they usually assault with 6 Star Destroyers and support cruisers and supplies crafts. Anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting, so I thought that I would share that with you. And yes, in future videos I will be referencing this book, and yes, you can tell it is very well used. I refer to the good book a lot. But let's go over the actual models here. So to start off with, they both have that center line. And that, I don't want to say it's a flaw, it's just the only way that they could get these angles right, the rest of the angles right. So I don't think it takes away from it, it's just part of it. And the other thing is, when you look at the 2, besides the piece count, now this one is 3,106 pieces, and it was released in 2002, by the way. And it's set number 10030. This set has 4,784 pieces. So this one has about 1,600 more pieces, but besides just the piece count, the other thing that's about this is the size. This one's 39 inches long, this one is 43 inches long. So basically, you get a whole entire 4 more inches of Legos, which, you know, with Legos, the studs, you know, being made approximately about 3 or 4 studs per inch, that's quite a bit. And, you know, I like what they've done with this, but you got to remember too, this one's almost 19 years old. So, you know, Lego pieces weren't as great, the building techniques weren't as developed. So for being almost 20 years old, I still think it's a great ship, and I think they're a complement to each other. And I think they look great being displayed side by side. And on this one too, I talked about the Deflector Shields. And these are more round. These are actual like mining rocks. They usually come in a different color. But I think it's funny how they used it, and I think this looks more accurate than these ones. But that's just my opinion. You may have a different one. I do like the sensors up here. I love everything about both of them. And I actually don't have a favorite. I think they're both really cool. The only sad part is I don't have the money to own 4 more, so I could have a full attack, you know, squad, or what do you want to call it. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And if you have, please hit the like button, please subscribe, or give it a rumble over on Rumble. And also leave me a comment below. Turn on all notifications, that way you always know when I put out a new video, which is currently almost every day. And if you need pieces for your mods and mocks, please head over to my store. It's on Bricklink. It's called A Chip Off the Old Block, and there's links in the description. We've got about 1 million pieces, and we usually ship within 24 business hours. So if you need your pieces fast and you need them a little cheap, come to my store, and I'll do my best to help you out. All right, guys, be good to each other, and please look out for my next videos. I've got plenty more videos coming out, including the Ultimate Collector Series AT-AT Walker, and we will go ahead and close the video here. Be good to each other, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next video.